Hi there, folks. James Penga here, creative director of Vintage Digital Revival and our ever-expanding Titanic universe. I just wanted to take a moment to make a little update video. It has been a while since we've had a nice update, but also as a thank you for everyone's incredible support this year. It has been a pretty wild year for VDR, and for once I mean that in mostly positive terms. First of all, I am coming to you right now from the literal middle of the Atlantic Ocean. As many of you know, we don't make very much money off these Titanic projects, so we all have day jobs. My day job is I perform on cruise ships. It's a really great job. I get to live on a boat, I get to sing songs, I get to give Titanic lectures, but best of all, I get a lot of free time so I can work on our projects. In fact, virtually every word of Titanic Project 401 has been written in this little cabin. At the moment, we are crossing the Atlantic, heading over to the Mediterranean Sea to do some cruises over there. But this morning at about 5:36 a.m., I woke up and went on deck because we were passing the longitude of 49 degrees. And while we are still miles and miles and miles from the Titanic wreck site, it's always nice to share at least one of her coordinates. Speaking of wreck sites, this ship is actually going to be sailing around Greece in a little bit, and according to the current schedule, there will be a day where we are going to sail right by the wreck of Titanic's sister, Britannic. I will attempt to do some sort of video about it when the time comes. But we're not here to talk about a cruise ship. We're here to talk about Titanic and the progress on our projects. So between March of 2022 and March of 2023, Vintage Digital Revival experienced one of the most exciting and productive years in our company's history. As you may recall, shortly after releasing the original version of Demo 401 on Christmas Day of 2021, we had a rather sad announcement to make. On March 3rd of 2022, we had received the alpha from the alpha team, we will call them, and it was not what we expected and not what you would have wanted. So we sadly had to lose a few team members that day. We lost a lot of work, months and months of work. It was truly the saddest moment for us as a team. 10 days later, out of our sadness, we decided to start working on Titanic Project 401, which basically was to take Demo 401, which was the only good thing we had going, and give it its own life. On May 18th of 2022, we announced our plans to make Project 401, and then on June 25th of last year, Kyle officially started work on what would become the brand new alpha of Titanic Honor and Glory, and very quickly he began releasing some of the coolest visuals we have ever made. For months, Titanic Honor and Glory and Project 401 were developed side by side. And on March 3rd, 2023, a year to the day, and that is completely by chance, we did not plan this out, it just so happened to be this way. A year to the day since our lowest point as a company, we released Update 2.0. Over the course of 1 year, we more than doubled the size of Project 401 to its current state of 50% of Titanic, and we released it for free, probably our highest point as a company just 1 year later. Thanks to this incredible turnaround, we had a lot of companies reach out to us wanting to collaborate, one of which we still can't talk about, sadly, but two that we can. We were in a documentary called Ship of Dreams that is really, really good. It's about the 1997 movie and what it was like to be an extra in the movie, but we provided some of our visuals for that. That was really great. But the big partnership that came out of all of this was, of course, our partnership with RMS Titanic Incorporated, the salvor in possession of the Titanic wreck site, and what a partnership it has already been. Not only did they invite us to Orlando to speak at their incredible 5-day anniversary event, which was a massive success, but we also unveiled a brand new collaboration in their Orlando Artifact exhibit. We created a brand new intro video, which is projected on 25-foot walls, truly immersing the guests into our Titanic. We have since added another 3-wall projection in another room of the exhibit that brings their incredible A-deck promenade recreation to life. And as far as their part of the agreement, we've been discussing which artifacts and wreck footage and wreck photos, what materials they have that we can use in our projects. Notice, making projections for RMST and their exhibits does not take away time from Honor and Glory or Project 401. We are taking models and spaces that already exist. Jack, our content creator, he films them in unbelievably cool ways. We edit them together and we send them to the exhibit. So anyone who's working on Project 401 or on Honor and Glory, they are not a part of this process. And that's not all that we did for the Titanic anniversary. For the last 10 years, we have done some form of real-time live stream, something to commemorate the anniversary. And this year, we sort of outdid ourselves. Jack, our content creator, he made an incredible new real-time syncing for us using all of our models and such, and posted that on YouTube, and it's been viewed 1 million times already. It has something like 30 interior syncing scenes, which really brings it to life. We are so grateful for Jack and his work on that, and all of our researchers who pitched in on that as well. Notice, the creation of this new real-time syncing, again, did not take away time from working on Project 401 or Titanic Honor and Glory. Jack took our real-time syncing from 2017 and basically gave it the biggest facelift of all time, reshot it from a bunch of different angles. And then the text that you see in it was written by me, but that text is from 10 years of my own anniversary traditions. So again, no real time taken away from our main projects. More recently, to celebrate the anniversary of Titanic's launching on May 31st, we released a brand new virtual recreation of the event, again, led by Jack, and it is truly the best thing that we have ever made. I've watched it 50 times. Massive credit to Jack and Kyle for their work on that. Speaking of great videos, we were really excited a few weeks ago to announce a new partnership with Ocean Liner Designs. Mike Brady, who many of you may know from that channel, he just makes some of the best ship-based content out there. The videos are well researched, they look great, and he's a great host. It's really the full package. We're just so excited to team up with him for all of his future Titanic videos, where we will be providing our top-of-the-line Titanic recreations. Notice, again, we provide models and spaces that were already built. Jack just films them in cool ways and sends them to Mike. No time is taken away from our main projects. And folks, in case you were wondering, and I know a lot of you do wonder these things, when we begin partnerships with companies like RMST and Ocean Liner Designs and other companies that we can't quite talk about just yet, we don't ever really exchange massive amounts of money, if any money whatsoever. When we make these partnerships, the intention is to create really great Titanic content, for our visuals to be seen by more people, for the content on the other side to get better, for the people on the other side to share what they have with us so our content gets better. We're all just in the same Titanic community trying to make great stuff. And as you guys all know, a lot of our visuals are fully funded by the community, so they very much belong to the community. That's why we released 50% of the Titanic for free. Now, that's not to say it will always be free, but at this moment, these partnerships that we're making, it's really just to make everybody's content better. So we don't reach out to these companies, or these companies don't reach out to us, and then we figure out what's the best way that we can just milk every cent out of it that we can. It's really just about Titanic. And folks, quick side note before we head into the main updates on 401 and Honor and Glory. If you ever purchased a hand-painted model ship from our store and never received it, please check your spam in your emails, because we have reached out to every customer still waiting for a model ship, and we have informed them that we are not able to fulfill those orders anymore. It's a whole thing that we've talked a lot about. If you want more information, I'm happy to give that to you through an email, but we are refunding and replacing every single order. It's up to you if you want to refund or you want to replace it with other items, but that's all in your email. If you can't find it or you don't want to look for it, just email us at this email address, and we will get everything settled for you. We apologize 1 million times over for the mess that this model ship thing has been, but we're just very relieved that we are finally just able to get everybody their money back or replace their order so everybody can be happy. But what about the projects? I'm sure you want to hear more about how Titanic Project 401 and Titanic Honor and Glory are coming along. So let's start with Project 401. Immediately after we released the update 2.0 back on March 3rd, Derek started working on optimizing and working out some kinks with that update. And a following update was expected. As is pretty normal in our line of work, there have been technical hurdles. There's been issues with Unreal Engine's new updates, so it has been slow going. However, we also began a brand new model making offensive. The plan is very simple. You may have seen around Demo 401, there are certain objects like a chair here or a light fixture there that seem 10 years older than everything else. They lack the detail that the rest of the ship has. So we've made a list of all of those things that we would love to replace, and we have handed them out to our wonderful, wonderful volunteers who are working on making better versions of them so we can improve Demo 401. But in order to not take time away from Honor and Glory, because I can hear you already saying, why are you updating 401? You're supposed to be working on Titanic Honor and Glory. That's very true. How we will not waste time is when they make these updates for 401, they are making them to the quality of the alpha. They're making them to the quality of Titanic Honor and Glory. So they're essentially making them for both projects to be used in both projects. We are currently working through the Turkish bath level, which needed a lot of upgrades. In the future, we've decided not to be as nitpicky because we're taking too long to make this level, and we all want this to be released before we all die of old age. But also working on the Turkish bath level is a company called Andromeda Sound. They are a sound design company that we have teamed up with. They reached out, again, like all these other companies, they played our new demo and thought, we want to do this. And we all know that the demo needs some sounds. So they've been working through the Turkish bath level. They've sent us their sounds and their concept for how the Turkish bath level should sound, and they have just brought it to life. So the sounds are all in Derek's hands. He will place them where they need to go. A reminder, these sounds will not be present in 401 until the final version of Project 401, but it's very exciting to see the level and hear something, which I'm sure you're all dying for because we are as well. Something else really cool for everybody to take a look at is this concept design by our UI UX designer, Luke McHugh. We've been discussing lately the possibility of a mini map and how it would function along with the main map. As you can see, the map itself is Matt DeWinkler's THG maps that he sells online. You've probably seen them before. However, I've taken his incredible work and somewhat gamified them, basically made them more user-friendly for our purposes. And then Luke has added symbols and other features to make these maps super useful, especially for first-time passengers. So Project 401 is progressing. We hope to bring more updates to you very soon. Now for Titanic Honor and Glory. As you may recall, Kyle Hudak, our exterior expert, has been constructing Titanic's hull and structure the way that Harlan and Wolff once did over a century ago. This will inevitably remove any headaches that would come from spaces not fitting together. It basically completes certain areas of the ship where the bare steel structure is the decor of the space, and then it allows for some unbelievable visuals along the way. And as you may have seen from our recent launch recreation video, Kyle has also put quite a few hours into rebuilding the Errol Gantry, the Belfast slipways, and a few of the surrounding buildings. Now, the Errol Gantry, the slipways, and the buildings, all that was not something that we had initially planned for the alpha for Titanic Honor and Glory. You've heard us say a lot, we're focusing on the ship first, and that does not seem like the ship first. And this is the first part of this video where I don't have a disclaimer to tell you that all this work on the Errol Gantry and the surrounding areas didn't take time away from Honor and Glory, because it absolutely did. The problem is, Kyle didn't tell us that he was doing this. See, we have decided as a company that, as inefficient as it seems, the ship structure can only be properly done by Kyle. There's just nobody else on the planet, it seems, who has the experience, the expertise in both modeling and Titanic's structure. And like back in 1912, if anything is placed incorrectly, even an inch out of place, we could have huge problems. But every now and then, Kyle gets a little burnt out from working on the same thing every day, and he gets a little sidetracked, we'll say, and he builds the entire aerial gantry, the slipways, and some nearby buildings to an extremely beautiful detail. The results are a longer wait for the structure, absolutely, but also some of the most incredible visuals we have ever released. To see Kyle's progress on the Alpha sitting inside the aerial gantry where she truly belongs, it's quite special. And yes, there is now the possibility that the Alpha will have the aerial gantry explorable as well as the ship. Though no timeline on when either of those things will be explorable. For the time being, we are just enjoying the incredible Titanic history that Kyle is bringing back to life. So more Titanic content to come, more updates to come, more partnerships to talk about. We were just so grateful for the support over this last year. Like I said, March 3rd, 2022 to March 3rd, 2023 was a roller coaster that ended up on quite a high note. And so we're just trying to keep that progress moving forward. And the larger our team, the better. So thank you so much for your support. We will get back to you all soon with more updates, more fun visuals from our virtual shipyard. That's it for me from the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. We will see you all soon.